Shanti. Good morning to everyone. So for you, it's already a special day. It's already August 25th. We are approaching August 25th tomorrow. And it's a beautiful day. Actually, tomorrow is a very big day for us here in Los Angeles because we have a very big public program, a big Raksha Bandhan celebration in a hall. And a lot of souls have RSVP'd. So we are expecting a lot of crowd. So for us, it's double celebration tomorrow. Dadi will be with us in the hall. Baba will be with us in the hall. I'm sure it's going to be a miracle celebration tomorrow. And when Rakhi Ben asked me if I could share about Dadi, I felt very fortunate because of all the Dadis, I felt this Dadi Prakash Mani have really molded a lot of my sanskars from my childhood. Definitely all the Dadis have made impact, but I felt Dadiji have made a little more impact on me compared to others. The first time I met Dadi Prakash Mani, I think I was maybe 7 when she came to Malaysia. So in Malaysia, we have a yearly retreat. It's called the Asian Retreat. And all the neighboring Asian countries, the BKs, they come for this retreat. So annually, we gather together, and Malaysia is the host country. So many seniors, every year, many seniors have come from Madhuban. Dadis, a lot of these dadis have came more than twice to Malaysia. Dadi Prakash Mani came, I think, 3 times. Dadi Gulzar was twice. Dadi Janki was 3, 4 times. So anyhow, there's been many, many, many years of just, Dadi's Palna. And that was the first time in the retreat I met Dadi in person. And I already felt close. Dadi had that warmth, that energy that just invites you to her. You're not afraid of her. You're not nervous. You're not thinking twice. You just want to run to her lap. Just want to run to her arms. She was that personality. And another thing, I know one funny incident happened when Dadi was visiting us in the children's class. So usually whenever any senior comes, we, as in all the children, we were about 60, 50, 60 of us. And we would create something for the seniors and we would gift them when they would come and visit us in the children's class in the retreat, because it's like 4-day retreat. Starts Thursday evening and then Friday, Saturday, and then a half day of Sunday. So that's usually how the retreat flows. And I remember we got her a Bugs Bunny. I don't know if you know, it's a cartoon character. It's like a rabbit. It's called Bugs Bunny. This is like a huge size, like a human size, big size. Bugs Bunny we got for her. And all the teachers, they told us, okay, when Dadi comes, you all have to line up and swagat, welcome Dadi. And then everyone will hold this big Bugs Bunny and give Dadi. We were so excited, when Dadi was going to come. So Dadi and little Mohini Ben, I don't know if any of you have met, not the New York Mohini Ben, little Mohini Ben. She has also left body now. And so both of them, they came to Malaysia at that time for the retreat. And when Daddy entered the room, so we were all welcoming her with flowers. And Daddy sat on the chair, the gati, and then she did, Daddy doesn't really give class, she would always ask, how are y'all doing? And what do y'all want? Or do you have any complaints? The first thing she said, you have any complaints about your teachers? Tell me. I will talk to them. So it's like Daddy made us feel like we have rights and we can tell her anything. And then after that, when we were presenting her the Bugs Bunny, the bear, the teddy bear, and then Miraben, she's the one of our coordinators, senior coordinator of Malaysia. Miraben told Daddy, press the Bugs Bunny's belly. It will say something. So Daddy pressed it, and the tune comes. It says Bugs Bunny when you press the belly. And Dadi was so surprised. Dadi said, oh, this is like, it was cute. She kept on pressing, she kept on pressing. And then Miraben said, Dadi, look, this Bugs Bunny is telling Prakash Mani. She changed it. And Dadi actually thought that, yes, it is telling Prakash Mani. And Dadi was so happy. She kept on pressing, and she was moving her head. We were laughing. We were just having a blast, with Dadi. And after that, we presented Dadi a sunglass. I was, it was a very cute sunglass. And then we presented Dadi with the sunglass, and Dadi wore the sunglass. And then, and she was like trying to act like cool. And we were taking pictures with her sunglass and her Bugs Bunny. And after that, how as jovial and as funny she was in the children's class. Then after that, she had to go to the main class. So all the adults were there, and we were supposed to follow her because that was the gift giving ceremony. So all the kids also had to join the main hall. So Daddy said, "Okay, chalo, everyone, follow me." So we were like a train, we all made a line, and we walked. We followed Daddy behind Daddy, and Daddy said, "Okay, chalo, let's go like a choo-choo train, like a train." So we followed her, and then we went to the hall, and Daddy went up on stage, and then she made sure that all the children sat in front of her. You know, we were actually going to sit down in on the chairs, but Daddy said no. All the children must sit with me on stage. So then, and we were so nervous. We were so shy. We were like, there were a few thousands of people sitting in the hall, and they were just waiting for Daddy to come and share. And here we are, just lined up, and we were all sitting with her on stage. And Daddy was, and that time I saw Daddy. Daddy was a bit mature, Daddy was mature. Daddy was like official. When Daddy was talking, she spoke with authority. That change from what I saw her when she was with us personally, and what I saw her when she was on stage with all the, seniors and adults. I really, now as I think back, all those scenes, all those fun, all those games that I played with her when we were kids. And then when I became a teenager, when I went to Madhuban, then when I met Dadi, the way she interacted with me, I felt there's one thing I really felt. Dadi knows how to touch your heart. Dadi knows how to talk to you. Whatever age that your body has, whatever is your personality, Daddy knows how to reach out to you. Daddy knows how to speak to your heart. That is such a beautiful gift, such a beautiful fortune that you're not rigid and you're very humble. Dadi was very humble. And why I say that, one time, this was back when I was a teenager, I think I was maybe 13. So Dadi came to Malaysia and we invited the prime minister, who was the prime minister at that time in Malaysia, is a Muslim man, and we invited him. So he couldn't come, but he sent his wife, and we call Datin. Dato means prime minister, and Datin means the wife of the minister. So Datin Hasma, she's a Muslim lady, and she came to the center, and I was there because I was one of the ushers. So it was like a meeting with a lot of the seniors, in terms of political seniors, and there were cabinet ministers and some political wings. So I was one of the ushers, and I was just watching how Dadi. One is, language is one thing, and many of them were Muslims. And being in Malaysia, I don't know if you know what it is like for Muslims. They are very conservative towards their religion, towards their practices. They don't, not many are open to different practices or different religion. And the fact that Dadi was there, and they all came, and the way Dadi addressed them, she was the first one. As soon as she entered, she was the first one to hold her hands and to bow and to welcome them. And they were all just seated. And Dadi was there. She walked in with her royalty. And she was so humble. And she addressed them. And of course, then we had a translator. And then when they started seeing how much, she is bowing, then one by one, they started standing up and Dadi was approaching them. And then they were, and Dadi was like holding their hand. Dadi was shaking their hand. Dadi was giving powerful drishti. And instead of giving them a class, which, sometimes we tend to do that, instead of giving them a class, she was actually talking to them, how are you doing? Personally, from this soul to that soul, on a soul to soul level, she was talking to see how the soul is doing, not the role. Role is secondary, but to know how they are doing. How are you doing? And after that, so they were sharing, some of them had their struggles and challenges. It's not easy being in the politics. And many of them, they have to sacrifice a lot. And they said, everyone who meet us, they come with an intention of what they can get from us, whether financial help or a certain position or status, or maybe an admission in a college, or they always come with an intention of what they can get from us. But you're the only one who is asking, what would you like? What you want to give us? What do we need? What do we want? And you want to fulfill that. They said it's very rare for someone to do that for us. And that they created such a beautiful impact that night with all of them. And after that, their whole impression about Brahma Kumaris changed. Initially, they thought that, oh, this could be like a cult. It's a Hindu tradition, could be a cult. But after that, they became so open. They became so open to us. And in the future, whenever we would invite them, say for Diwali, for interfaith programs, they would come. They wouldn't hesitate because their whole perspective of Brahma Kumaris changed because of Dadi. And another time we took Dadi to meet one um, a monk. He's a very famous monk, a Buddhist monk. We have so many Buddhist temples in Malaysia, but there's one particular, like the main headquarter, the main Buddhist temple in Malaysia. So he's one of the main monks in Buddhism. And we went to, we took Dadi, and we had actually a program there. So again, I was one of the ushers. So thank God drama have given me these opportunities. If not, I wouldn't have witnessed these miracles, if I had not been part of the event. So Dadi was there, we took Dadi. And all the monks, especially when you're in a certain status and you're in a certain hierarchy, um, your seat, the higher your seat is, and then it has a certain color. So, anyways, all of those hierarchies were there, and they wouldn't, bow down to you, or they would expect that you would give them the due respect. Dadi was so casual. Dadi went and she was bowing to everyone, and she was telling Om Shanti. She was bowing, shaking her head, and there's one thing that Dadi made a very gesture, a hand gesture. Dadi, the way Dadi said, because of language, right? So the translator was there. And Dadi showed this gesture that you and me, we are family. We are one. We are family. Dadi made that gesture. And that monk, that senior monk, he really melted. He really, really melted. And his what do you call, chela or his assistant was standing beside him, and was actually holding his hand because he was a bit old. So the assistant was holding his hand, when he was walking. And one of us sisters, we were holding Dadi's hand when Dadi was walking. And the monk, he let go of the assistant's hand, and he came close to Dadi, and he held Dadi's hand. And Dadi was looking at him. He was looking at Dadi. It was like brother and sister, on an equal ground, and so much humility. And everyone was watching because the monk doesn't hold anybody's hand except the assistant. And he held Dadi's hand. And then it was as if they both were supporting each other. They both were holding each other's hand and walking to their seats. So the monk came, they were sitting side by side. So both of them holding each other's hand, being each other's support. And then they walked, and then they sat. And so the monk the monk started, it was his crowd. So he started and he was sharing. And after that, Dadi, instead of talking about Brahma Kumaris, instead of talking about what we believe or what we practice, she was praising him. She said, how much she was appreciative, that so much he has done, and how much he has inspired all these people sitting in front of him. And he melted even more. And then he announced, "This is my sister. This is my elder sister. This is my mother." And in fact, he was much older than Dadi, but he was telling me, "This is my mother. And this is my sister, my mother." That that thing, bro. And Dadi's gambirta, the maturity, really, and Dadi's humility. has broke many egos, has melted many cold hearts. That is one. That's definitely what, for me, is an inspiring lesson, for me, that I've learned from Dadi. And another incident, I think I will share a bit more, and then I would love to hear your sharing. And another thing that I wasn't able to tell Raki Ben. I just got one of the students' father-in-law left body. So they wanted us to come for their funeral today. And the funeral is at 5:30 in half an hour. So I thought I didn't want to cancel this class. It's a beautiful class. So I just thought I'll just share and leave early if that's okay. Maybe in 10 minutes. Raki Ben.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine, sister.
Yeah. Okay. So they're waiting in the funeral home. And another last, of course, there's many memories, but just one last sharing I wanted to say. When I went to Madhuban, when I went to Madhuban, and we had, all the foreign children, we had a meeting. We had a retreat. It was like a 2 days retreat, and Malaysia was the host team. So Malaysia was the host, the coordinators of that retreat. So we were, even from Malaysia, there were like 35 of us, 35, 40 kids. It was in December. And then, of course, all the other children from all over the world, whoever came within that age limit. So they also participated in that retreat. I think I was maybe 12. Yeah, I think about 11, 12. And Dadiji, it was us meeting Dadi. So it was in the training center in Yan Sarovar. No, it wasn't in the training. It was in the meditation hall. It was in the meditation hall in Pandavavan, yes. In Pandavavan, in the meditation hall. That's where we were meeting Dadi. And I actually, there were chairs, arranged around, and Dadi was gonna sit in the front on the gadi, and we had chairs around. So at that time, when Dadi was about to come, I had to go to the bathroom. So I went, and by the time I came, everyone was seated. Dadi was there. I looked around. I didn't have any chairs. All the chairs were taken. So I just casually, I thought, okay, since if all the chairs are taken, I just casually went and I sat on the floor, in front of Dadi, in front of the stage. I just sat there. And Dadi looked at me, and she was giving Trishti. And for a moment, I thought, my God, did I make a mistake? Or maybe Dadi is not so happy that I came late to the class. So then Dadi, she signaled, she signaled, and she called us. And so the translator said, Dadi's calling you. So I went, and then I just sat down beside Dadi, by her foot. So I sat down there, and Dadi was giving so much Trishti. And then Dadi, she was telling the crowd, she said, if you are humble and flexible, service will find you, you know. And I didn't know at that time it was meant for me, or she just used me as an example to give that message to all the other children. But her Trishti, whenever I look at Dadi in Dadi's eyes, I felt those eyes are talking to me. I felt through her silence, through her Trishti, she's talking to me. She's telling me something. And I felt Dadi was saying this message was meant for you. When the translator beside was helping Dadi, she was giving the holy blessing to Dadi's hand, so Dadi could give everyone. Dadi said, "Ne, inko do." So she told the translator, that sister, to give the holy blessing to me, so I could hand over to Dadi. And so I was doing that, and everyone was watching. And after that, I was the last to get the holy blessing. And Daddy, I think maybe she kept extra drishti, or maybe I felt the drishti was longer. And I really felt that he was saying, stay humble, stay humble, stay flexible. Service will always find you. You don't have to look for service. So that energy I felt, that blessing. Many of these dadis, I felt whatever that they have told me when I was a kid. Now I see how that has become a blessing for me, and how that whatever that the messages that they have given me have became like my motivation in this Samarpit life. It's definitely, don't think living in the center is easy. It comes with its own set of challenges, and definitely it comes with its own benefits. But no doubt, there's a lot to face. It's not like we say, hallelujah life, but definitely what Dati meant. I actually see that happening. As long as we keep our stage just stable, consistent, and just trust in drama, trust in Baba. Service will come, because really service is not what you are saying or what you are doing. It's your own energy is inviting, drawing people. People want to experience what you experience. Not so much they want to hear what you know. They just want to have a little experience of what you have. That is service. And that's all dadis have been doing. They don't give big classes. If you've realized, all these dadis, simple classes. And they could be repeating many of the same points in many of these classes. But the impact of their words, the impact of their smile and drishti stays in the soul for a lifetime. We carry that for a lifetime. We can definitely take that inspiration from Dadi. Right? Anything else? Anything anyone wants to share?
The last experience that you shared about being humble and service will find you. I can connect this to the very first session of yours when you were addressing the first class of this group, where you mentioned that when you surrendered, you told Baba that make my state in a way that service will find me. And you had been sharing those kind of experiences always. And I think that's filled me a lot on and intoxicated that whole episode. That service will find you. Just make your way of being in your state in a way that
Yeah,
that energy carries you.
yeah. The world has so many good speakers. The world has so many motivational speakers. They don't need another speaker. But the world doesn't have experience. So you give your experience to the world. A good class is okay, but a good experience stays in the soul for a lifetime. So we can all give good experiences to the world. Right? So, and now there's a whole crowd waiting in the funeral. So the beautiful soul is waiting for a vidai. So I'm bringing Baba, and I'm definitely bringing Dadi with me to the funeral. And both Baba and Dadi are gonna do miracles. And that departed soul is gonna experience so much love and so much peace. And everyone present, their family members, no doubt they are in sorrow, they are in pain. But despite all that, Baba and Dadi are going to give them so much hope. And they're going to give them so much acceptance and let go. So I'm going there as the instrument. I will see all of you soon. Happy Krishna Janmashtami. Yes. Yes, wonderful. Okay, Rakiben. We
Yes,
will.
sister, thank you so much. And
Yes.
we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Have a beautiful, beautiful Dadiji's day. Thank you. Om
Thank
Shanti.
you. Om Shanti.
We'll just have a few moments of silence. We will thank Dadi. Shanti. Keep smiling like Dadi. Okay? Om Shanti.
Would anybody like to share their experiences if it got an opportunity to be with Dadi anytime? Or any other talks or any other thing about Dadi would anybody like to share before we close the class today?
Om Shanti. Uh,
Yes,
One of the attributes of Dadiji, amongst so many attributes, is the truthfulness, Satyavadi. And today's Murli is also, Avik Murli is also based on Dadiji's this quality, Satyavadi. And that's the complete nirmalta, that purity within at the thought level, attitude level, drishti, vritti, nirmal, nirmalta, and the Satyavadita. I think that's a special, very, and as sister brought out, the humbleness, the humble and loving, deep love, not just from the outer shell, but the deep love for the soul, every soul, irrespective of the role. That's some of the qualities which really touch and a great takeaway uh, for implementing the practical life. Om Shanti.
Gijaben, would you want to share your experiences with Dadi? As you've been mentioning that in a couple of other classes before. All right, if there's no
Oh,
sharing, let's
Shanti.
move. Yes, Vijit, bye, go ahead.
Yeah, so I heard this one of the class that so it was asked, it seems, Dadiji, that there were so many seniors and dadis, but why did Baba choose Dadi as an instrument to look after the yajna when Mama left? So Daddy said, so this was, I think it was in a group, and I think it was in a media discussion, I guess. If somebody remember better than me, uh, can jump in and share. And then Dati said three things. There, one thing was it's because of the purity that we know that he never said any lies, right? So Dati was Dati used to say that in a very a big crowd, it seems, when I used to very boldly say to the people that I never said a lie, a single lie in my life, and that he used to ask people, those who have not said a single lie in their life, raise your hand. And people never used to. I mean, we know that, right? So when the on the life, we will keep altering things, right? So when situation comes, so especially when we were not in knowledge, right? So we won't really. Most of the people would have uh, uh, lied a little bit, or at least altered the situation, or we might call that yukti or something, whatever. But after coming into knowledge, yes, 99 percentage or mostly 100%, but 99 percentage for sure, yes, would have stopped it. Yes, so that was one of the pure thing that is such that is very pure. That was one reason why Baba chose. And second reason that he said the obedience, right? That he was so obedient about whatever Baba said, and that he did everything. There's nothing like that which Baba said, which was not done by Dadi, it seems. And the third thing, all types of service in the Yajna. There was no service in the Yajna that which Dadi has not put her hands on. So starting from sweeping, mopping, and also giving, lecturing, everything. So these three qualities that I remember somebody shared, the special qualities that Dadi had. And also, Dadi was very good at finding other specialities and giving sustenance on that. So many people, many classes when people shared, right? So they all shared that um, uh, whatever they were expecting from Dadi, right? So that 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 Dadi used to highlight and share with them, it seems. So which actually made them so happy, felt so comfortable. And uh, you know, it was like Dadi had a third sense to understand what the other person wants or what the other person is expecting. So accordingly, that we used to treat them and sustain them, which used to make that person very happy, feel so thankful to Daddy. So um, yeah, so this was something that came in my mind. Thank you.
So let's remember Dadi. Vijay, can you play that song so each one of us can listen to that song
Yes.
and
Lucky,
meditate?
Yeah,
can you
just
share for a second?
Yes, Vijay, go ahead.
Ah, I don't know how to just I think I have to rip my heart open. Jewel of light. You know, I was so privileged when I came to the Gyan in 1992. And the first person who welcomed me was, of course, Neverbai. And the first Dadi, the hugs and the closeness with which she really, something, I don't know, there was a kind of something I felt I knew her for a long time. And for me to understand a Dadi and to understand the role of Dadis was Dadi Jeevan. Somewhere, I can even share photographs of her where I put my hands across her arm and I've taken her across the portico when she sits in the Pandav Bhavan veranda over there. When she has got a head bath, she'll take out her hair and then I'll go run and I'll take a chair close to there and then she say, usko bulao, usko bulao. Somebody was going up and down. It was such a close thing. So many of my personal problems or personal things which he has to do, she'll say, Murkha hai kya? Baith ja. I don't know how to, it's something I think only my heart knows. how do I feel, Dadi? And I never felt with her like, it was something close. So much so, one day I went up to Om Shanti Bhavan, and I acted like Dadi Prakash Mani, and Mohini Ben taught me. Mohini Ben was also close to me. She taught me, Dadi has got a particular way of taking up her right leg and left leg, and then sitting and then turning her head and left head and looking straight at the light over there and saying, the way she says Om Shanti, or the way she asks questions, Acha, Acha. So for me, it was a very close liaison with her. Very close means close. That's why I think when she left her body, I was there. I had gone there for Raksha Bandhan, and I remember it. And there's so much. We are only sharing so much. And one instance, just to share, because I think it will be nice to remember her in silence. One thing, she forgets people. I have never seen that kind of forgiving, like the head of a church or head of something. If a discipline is broken, they are sent out. But I've seen so many people who have disfollowed the Srimad or something. And then after they realize, repent and come back, Dadi never asks them anything. She forgives them. That's why the same people who went out, I've got so many instances who come back with the repentance to say, see what they have done. That is the thing she had. And I'm not saying she's an ocean of knowledge, or even which she says there's so much more. And for me, she's very, very close to my heart. That's why 25th August, I really remember minute by minute from the time in the morning when I met her and the time she went into when Satish Gupta, doctor, was there, everything I just re-rehearsed. It's wherever she is, and she is one of my first guardian angel. When I go to the Sukshma Vatan, I take her as one of my first guardian angel. So to such a soul, to such a jewel of light, to such a confidant of Brahma Baba, to such a generous soul, to such a Dadi Ji, I really love you, Dadi. And a big hug. You were talking about that bear and all, Vinuben. I really felt, yes, she is like that, childlike. And she also has got Mohini Ben. Thanks, Dadiji, wherever you are. You are always part of even my future. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Gijavan, for sharing your lived example with her. And let's all of us today take this homework of picking one quality of Dadi and practicing that ongoingly. And as you mentioned, Girijaben, this one quality is forgetting things of people that may otherwise would have not been easy to forget. When you actually mentioned about the example by sharing that people have done something and they have come back, that they would have not asked them any questions but have given them forgiveness. So Rehem Dil is one quality that I'm taking on as a homework for myself. Before we close this session, we will listen to this wonderful song as a tribute to Dadi, and then we'll close for the day.
बनके प्रकाश का दरिया वो सब में प्रकाश भरती थी। बनके प्रकाश का दरिया वो सब में प्रकाश भरती थी। मीठी प्यारी दादी सबको दिल से प्यार करती थी। मीठी प्यारी दादी सबको दिल से प्यार करती थी। वो थी दिव्य गुणों की धनी प्यारी दादी प्रकाश मणि। वो थी दिव्य गुणों की धनी सारी जिम्मेदारी प्रभु ने उनके हाथ में सौंप दी। सारी जिम्मेदारी प्रभु ने उनके हाथ में, क्योंकि सदा ही रखा उन्होंने प्रभु को अपने साथ में, प्रभु को अपने साथ में। मैं और मेरे पन के भान से, मैं और मेरे पन के भान से दादी को सो दूर थे। तभी तो प्यारे बाबा के वो सच्चे को ही नूर थे। तभी तो प्यारे बाबा के वो सच्चे को ही नूर थे। वो थे दिव्य गुणों के धनी प्यारे दादी प्रकाश मणि। वो थे दिव्य गुणों के धनी प्यारे दादी प्रकाश मणि। भेद भावना किया किसी में, रखी सब में समानता। भेद भावना किया किसी में, रखी सब में समानता। तभी तो हर कोई झुक जाता था देख के उनकी महानता, देख के उनकी महानता। बच्चों में बच्ची बन जाती, बच्चों में बच्ची बन जाती। इतनी भोली भाली थी महायज्ञ मधुबन की वो तो बड़ी ही प्यारी माली थी। महायज्ञ मधुबन की वो तो बड़ी ही प्यारी माली थी। वो थे दिव्य गुणों की धनी प्यारी दादी प्रकाश मणि। वो थे दिव्य गुणों की धनी प्यारी दादी प्रकाश मणि। वो थे दिव्य गुणों की धनी प्यारी दादी प्रकाश मणि। वो थे दिव्य गुणों की धनी प्यारी दादी प्रकाश मणि।
Om Shanti. Thank you to Baba. Thank you to Vinubin who was there with us. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a lovely day.